Welcome back everybody into another daily recap. Is today the 3rd of December, it's a Friday, it's currently 9 p.m. Central European time. As you can see, it's almost closing this hourly candle, it's closing right now. And we're going to see on Bitcoin what happened today. As you can see, we had a huge, wild, bearish move after London session, New York session opening, making a nice pin bar on the hourly time frame, as you can see also in the previous chart, hourly candles in the previous days. As you can see here, very strong pin bar, which after the close of this candle, the price just dropped like 300 pips in a matter of 5 hours. It's crazy how this moment happened, and we're going to have a look on the lower time frame. Let's see from the New York opening till now. Of course, today there was the NFP, so at 2:30 we're going to see some reaction, which I already know what it is, and we're going to see after that what is going to happen. So let's start with the replay, candle replay. As you can see, we had a slow build up to, let me just put the PPLs to 57k. We are around the date, the hour here of the release of the NFP, and we're going to see now the reaction. As you can see, very strong reaction, like 50-60 pips in a matter of few minutes due to the negative news. So the NFP was really bad, so immediately bad news. So you might think that, okay, the bias is bullish. The point is that unemployment rate was really good. So it's expected, as we're going to see on gold, expected a sort of whipsawing in the candles. So we are not entering here. We are just waiting for further confirmation of a trend. So let's see. As you can see, after just a few minutes, like 10-15 minutes, we saw that the trend was bearish, and we're going back to the base, back to the 57 and 56,750 PSA. Here, as you can see, we're going to see multiple attempts to break up, still no trend, so I'm not going to enter any sells. But when we start to see a clean break below, we are starting to see and wait for our usual break and retest to enter sells. Okay, so what you might see, this is a nice break and retest. We could take an entry. If it wants to load, it will be really nice to see an entry. Okay, we are very close to the PPL, so it's nice to give like 15 pips and 45 to the sells. As you can see, price is immediately going, now is retracing. Let's see if we have a candle close, not especially on the PPL, but we can even take if we close above here. Okay, as you can see, for now the PPL rejected. Now we can, I think we have to go out for like 8 pips loss and look for further re-entries if the price confirms this trend. Okay, as you can see, the trend is confirmed, no real entry. So let's see, we're going to wait if the price can give us better setups. Now we are here, we are 15 pips, it's quite high as a level. We are kind of 10 pips below the PPL. Let's see if it's a good entry here already. Okay, so far so good. As you can see, we reached our 30 pips and we reached the 45 pips take profit. So as you can see, we got back our 8 pip loss pretty easily in one trade, following the main trend. As you can see, you can either attempt a re-entry here, 56,350. Let me just check if on the hourly time frame, if that was a nice previous area. a PSA 56 350, yeah, was the bottom of the other block. So below here is where we could take further entries. It's a nice break and retest. It's not as clean and smooth as here, but I think we can attempt another re-entry. And also we have a nice safe exit point. Okay. Reacting at the PPL, so pretty nice. No candle close above, so we are still in. And we are possibly getting to a close above here. Okay, now looks like the price is actually reacting and now going into our direction. This is a nice candle setup, and I will just go 2 candles before. And also this pin bar would have been nice if it wasn't already in this trade. And as you can see, this one is a nice pin bar, breaking below this PSA, retesting, making a nice retest of the PPL and closing strongly bearish. I mean, strong rejection. So this is a nice entry with the pin bar. And of course, as we see that the price is very aggressive. Doesn't get to 45, but still at 30 we have the partial TP. If it goes to break even, we're out. Further entry here, another pin bar. Multiple pin bars, as you can see, 1 and 2. So if you're not entering here, you have another attempt at the candle close, which goes straight to your TP. As you can see, the candle setup that we are trading in trend are pretty easily. Either a pin bar, either a nice candle close with a top wick, pin bar, it's basically the same. 55,650 is the PSA that I was looking for, and I was charting in the previous days. Now this is 56. Yeah, this one was already charted. The next PSA about the PPL is around 55,100. So let's see. Of course, we know that we are going to reach there. Let's see if we have candle setups. Very aggressive bounce. Look at it here, 55,100. The first bounce was huge. Yeah, at 5.15. Another pin bar exactly at the previous PSA or at the key level, as you wish. Look at the pin bar, aggressive and signaling it is. Okay, we have further entries on sell side. If this one made a top wick, would have been perfect. Okay, this might be a nice candle setup. We are quite high from the PPL, but still it's a nice candle in continuation of the trend. We're seeing that it's working so far pretty easily. Let's see. Oh yeah, we get to 30 pips pretty fast. Also, we had another re-entry, possible re-entry there. The only fact is that to sell here, it's quite weird because we are selling into this previous PSA. But honestly, would have been pretty nice, I think. Yeah, like only 20 pips. This is a pin bar on the opposite side. So this trade is out as a winner. You can consider taking a counter trend pin bar trade. And as you can see, okay, it is a very aggressive. I'm not sure if I will take it on the live trade. As you can see, would have been a loss immediately. Probably, yeah, since no candle really closed, like 15 pips pretty easily. And as you can see, actually, if we stayed in trend, we could have got this candle setup over here, which is the same candle setup over and over again. Here, 15 pips, you're already at 30 pips, and you go to TP in the almost in the next candles. Nice pin bar again. We're still in the same bias. So let's see what the price is giving us. Okay. This is a tricky situation. You can either decide to exit for a minor loss because we entered very far from the PPL. So this drawdown is not ideal. You can say, okay, yeah, let's take 6 pips loss and I will revalue for a possible re-entry. I'm not even sure what I will do live, if I would keep it. I'm not 100% sure. Probably this is a go out trade and wait for 7 pips and go out for wait for few entries, especially after seeing this bearish candle and the strong reaction at the PPL. Okay, let's see if it gives us further entries. Okay, this one is a quite aggressive one, but as you can see, still we are making higher highs, higher lows in this moment. So it's not the safest entry, but as you can see, we are going out in the middle. I mean, we have a range, so that's why we have 15 pips, and we can go out if we close above the PPL. As you can see here, you go out 7 pips, 7, 7, 14. This trade already gave you 45. You already have few profits. You are probably not even trading that right now, but ideally you are still in profit for the day and by a lot. So another pin bar. As you can see, with possible even have an aggressive entry here, or when you see the price going again below the PPL. Okay, goes to break even, reacts again at the PPL. Now, I don't know if this one was, no, it's not 30 pips, it's 20. This one should be a 6-7 pips loss as well for the candle closing above the PPL. Okay, yeah, you see that price is sort of ranging, so you either stop trading now, 6, 7, you like 20 pips draw down total. That is good because it's instead of taking 15 pips here, 15 pips here, 15 pips here, it's better to stay like as it is, to have 20 pips covered by just one trade while you had 1, 2, 3, 4 already in profit. It's fine. Just okay, let's say okay, now I wait for another re-entry in a much clearer trend, not trying to catch the reversal. As you can see, this one was wrong. If you think about it, this is not a break and retest. This one was not a break and retest. This one was a pin bar, not at a PPL. So you can even say that mistake, mistake, mistake. Break, retest, and then down, as you can see here. This one aggressive pin bar, aggressive pin bar. This one break and retest and then down. So this one you can even say that there were a mistake on your hand. So you want to wait for the price to now resume the trend, because now you can see that it's clearly in a range. Okay, let's see if we have a retest. We didn't have a proper retest of the level. Wild volatility. Now if we have a candle retest, now if if we are live, I think candle makes a top wick and then closes here, we can consider entering either even live. If it makes a top wick, we see that price is there, you can place a sell limit, sell stop over here. Okay, and is slowly going at TP. As you can see, pretty easy. Not easy not, but it's understanding the trend. So if you're live and you see this candle flipping bullish, you can either, as I told you, I didn't know about the candle, place a sell stop here to take advantage of this volume. Now you see the candle are much bigger than before. There's a huge spike in volatility at this time. I didn't know why, we don't know why, we don't need to know why. And it goes to TP. No real re-entries, possibly in insight, of course. Now here makes a breaks below, top wick at the candle close, but you see it closes above the PPL, so it's quite tricky situation in my opinion, especially if you're already in the trade. And even just this one recovered all those mistakes. Yes. Okay, nice, aggressive. This one is very nice and aggressive. So this one, it wouldn't be like a 54,350. 54,350. I mean, look at the mess that is here. This one is 54,350. Look how strong this candle is. The fact that we are at the PPL is not good, but if we want to take advantage of the volatility, we can try to see and risk some part of the profits just based on the candle setup, just this candle standalone. Okay, let's see. Not really the best. Look how nice and clean this break and retest is. Okay, we go to TP, but let's see. Look why I like this setup. This one is just candle setup on its own, and instead this one is a candle setup at a break and retest of the level. So that's why I actually is the part of my trend, my plan: break, retest, candle setup. This one is way better. Why? Because this one gives you almost no drawdown. As you can see, goes to TP in a few minutes, taking advantage of the volatility, the volume, and the trend. So this absolutely much better than taking this risk. It's good because, as you can see, it was a win because price never broke above this PSA. But as you can see, we suffered some bit of drawdown, which is actually could be avoided by entering at the break and retest. Okay, double bottom. Okay, now let's see. Maybe I'm biased. I don't want to. And actually, now it's still we are getting close to the live action. So if we see this candle setup, you see, I wanted to enter, but there's no retest yet. This is just trying to catch the trend resuming. Oops. Yeah. I mean, as you can see, would have been perfectly. Let's just remove it. Okay. Would have been a winning trade. And then here, this one was already a win after 5 minutes. Not a single candle closes above the PPL. As you can see, PPL is here. Not a single candle closes. And then it was actually went to TP way before. So That's quite tricky. It's quite tricky if you want to consider this a retest, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not trying to catch every single one. Where is price now? What the hell? 51. Huh? Wow. Jesus. That's crazy. Look. From New York. 500 pips. And at the start of the video, it was like 300. Yeah, it was around 54. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know what is happening here. But huge volatility. Probably some news, something. And as you can see, instead of on gold, let me just go on gold. I'm not really liking it. As you can see, we have a London session pretty flat. We had the NFP and unemployment rate. So very bad NFP, very good unemployment rate. And we got a range through all New York session. Only after the London close, we saw price breaking above 1772 and breaking above this PSA. These, you can see, PSA 1, 2. I don't know if during London this was a PSA as well. No, but was a recent PSA break and retest. It breaking above 1776 and going to the next key level. 1781, as you can see, was a PSA from the morning, causing some reaction. And then slowly we are going to 1786. It's much clearer on the, if we zoom out, but on the 1 minute is not clear. And Bitcoin is already retracing 160 pips in a 1 minute candle, I guess. Crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy stuff. I mean, look at the size of the candles. And look at the size of 1 minute candle is 50 pips, 60 pips. This 1 minute candle, 100 pips, 1 minute. Of course, the spread would be wide, but it looks like it was a nice liquidity grab from the investors. But this is it, guys. See you next week.